Well, hey, welcome back. So I hope the angle of the camera works for you guys. In a previous video, I promised an update on a holster, and a viewer called me on it. It was the DME holster for a Beretta M9A1 with a with a Streamlight TLR-1 HL. That's this, right? You'll notice it's apart, so you can get a better view of the back for it, and some of my likes and some of my dislikes. Now, it's not a part for any fault of its own. All I was doing was trying to adjust a little angle of the dangle and height. So it'll end up going back together. However, it will not be a duty holster anymore because my guys decided that we were going to standardize for at least our shift. So we had cross compatibility with magazines. And Beretta was not what we decided on, or what they decided on, because there are more of them than there are of me. And I'm willing to go along to get along, especially if it keeps my guys happy. So back to the holster. First things first. You've got the Blade Tech belt loop with the thigh strap. Excellent platform. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I wish I could just buy this and somehow mod my Safariland holsters on it, because this platform with a leg strap, I think, is much better than, I don't have one, than the Safariland drop offset duty ride holsters or duty ride platforms. It seems like the adjustability is definitely there. You've got like basically unlimited cant this way and that way, and pseudo similar with up and down. I don't know if I could actually make a Safariland holster to this. I haven't tried, but I will at some point. Back to the holster. That's enough about that. As I expected, if you see here, you've got these glorious gouges in it, and that comes from getting in and out of a squad car, cruiser, patrol car, whatever you want to call it, and grinding the ever-loving shit out of it on a metal center console. And if I were to pull, and I still don't have one to show you, if I were to pull one of my Safariland duty holsters out, you would see the same thing. A beautiful matching gouge that goes right up the side of the holster. It's just one of those things. You're gonna get it no matter what you do, unless you're super duper skinny. And even at that rate, I don't think you're gonna avoid the center console, just because of where the holster juts out off the seat. Anyway, would I recommend it? Yes. As a matter of fact, I did say this was for a full-size M9A1 with a TLR-1 HL on it. So this is my 92X Centurion with the Olight PL Pro on it. And again, somebody's gonna break my chops for the Olight. At some point, I will tell you why I prefer these to the Streamlight and the Surefire, and it's not price. This holster will fit it. You can crank down the retention a little bit more if you so desire. Latches up. And this, I believe, is a Blade Tech, I don't know what they call it, a Blade Tech hood, and you press out on it, and it spring actuates forward. I'll show you that again here, without the pistol in the way. So what you would do when you draw is you would press out, and the hood goes forward out of your way. Some people like that because it's pretty much a surefire disengagement of the hood. I prefer, and you're gonna get into my dislikes on this, I prefer the Safariland SLS hood. That's just my preference. Your mileage may vary. I've been using it for years. That's what I prefer. The upside to this is, and I will say this is an upside for me, is again, I'm a wide body. The holster that I'm using now is a Safariland, I don't know what the hell the model number is. It's got the ALS that locks into the ejection port and the SLS hood. And I've noticed when I'm shifting around in the vehicle that the SLS hood engages with the bottom of my body armor and sometimes rocks forward. Do I care? No, I have that secondary locking mechanism. If it was strictly the SLS, I would care, because that means I have no retention on my holster, which is where this design is superior. I never had that happen. Plus, I believe it rides low enough on the belt loop that it misses my body armor altogether. How could we fix that problem? Lose 10 pounds. The other dislike that I have for this, and it hadn't proved problematic, but just to my mind it could be, right? So you see on the back here, you've got, there's still one left in there. Cool. I didn't move this one. You've got these little screw retentions. I don't know what the hell you call them. Screw goes into it and holds it in place. When it mounts up to the platform, there's a rubber standoff. Do I have one of those laying around here? Of course not. When I want junk on my desk, on my workbench, there's none. So, a little rubber standoff goes over this, and you screw it down, and it compresses itself. It compresses the body of the holster up against the mounting platform. Now, I think that this would function fine without that. I'm not sure, I haven't tried. And that would probably be the only weak point that I could see as far as this goes, is that Kydex is more brittle than the Boltaron that they make the Safari Lands out of. And putting that much stress on one little point like this, like you can, I don't know if you can see that. Let me, here we go. The hole is starting to oblong. Maybe you can see it that way, just from use. And I would expect that from something of this design. That being said, this will probably end up getting a coat of camouflage and going on my oh shit kit, because it fits the other piece of my oh shit kit. Yeah, I pointed it at the internet. Just fine. And if you look, once it locks into place, it ain't going anywhere. And if I want it to shake, rattle, and roll a little bit less, I can just crank these down a little bit more. Why did I buy a Safari Land as opposed to another one of these for my new duty gun? I got the Safari Land on sale, plain and simple. Otherwise, I'd have gone with this. I like the mounting system better, or at least the belt platform better. My dislike is also my like, is that flings out of the way and I have instant access to draw. Nothing more, nothing less. As far as everything else goes, I'll show you the body of the holster. You'll see there's no cracks. The edge work is still pretty good because that's where it bangs into the center console, nowhere else. There's no major gouges, dings, what have you. So if you want to give it a shot, I would say hit up their website and check it out. I don't remember how much it cost. I think it was about $165. Can't talk. $165. Beyond that, you can find similar holsters made by Safari or any other maker on eBay for probably a lot less. If you have an obscure gun that there's not a whole lot out there from Safari for, this would be the way to go. Unless you want specifically a beat down military surplus holster in the Safari Land platform for the Beretta. However, but this works, and it works well. If you so desire to run it on a smaller belt than the 1.5 inch, or sorry, the 2-inch duty belt, you've got the adjustment back here for the belt. I believe this would be the 1.75, that would be the 1.5. You just move it up and it holds it tighter to your belt. I've never used it on anything other than a 2-inch belt. I believe in the initial video I demoed it on a 1.5-inch belt with it set for a 2-inch belt, and the leg strap, which, by the way, if I could find these in the wild, would be great too. The leg strap kept everything in place. It doesn't flop around. There's really no impeding of the draw. Like, I don't know if you've ever drawn from a belt loop holster and it pops out like that and you're trying to yank your gun out and it's not going anywhere. It's a pretty big no-no. Just keeps everything down and in place. There's very minimal elastic to it. One little spot right here. So you adjust it, and these beautiful little rubber divots on here keep it well in place. And sitting in a car for 8 hours with minimal ins and outs, it does not give you a colossal riding wedgie, just in case that's important to you too. With that being said, I think that's about all I got. Holster, belt loop, yeah, that's everything, guys. Be safe, watch your six. Out for now.